the last time we were doing quotes, and then I'd like give a quote, and then we was like blah blah, and then I was doing the little quick fire.
How was that though? How did that go down over the first season? Pros and cons?
It went down very well with some people. And then others were kind of, I don't think they quite got the concept, where it was like, okay, we're having, maybe because the conversation was very serious and emotionally twinged. And then I'm like, so, Q&A.
KFC or pizza.
So, as you know, I was actually thinking this morning, I was like, right, I have to do the Q&A photograph, or the Q&A questions. And then we were discussing, I was like, no, Sonny's coming in. I want something really good. And then I was thinking, like, about our conversations of past. And I wouldn't say idol, but someone who I greatly respect is Carl Jung.
I have no clue. Is he Irish? Carl Jung.
Carl Jung, Jung. He would have been a best friend of Sigmund Freud. And he's like one of the leading psychoanalysts.
Okay.
Psychotherapy as we know it today has come from the teachings and the studies of Carl Jung.
Okay.
Right? So all people like Paul Chek, who's like a health fitness guru, would also be someone that I very much respect. A lot of his teachings would come from Carl Jung. But Carl Jung, in one of his studies, was very big on word association.
Okay.
Because he felt that
it tells a lot about the person.
You could tell a lot about the person,
how they
what
instantly
they
react
say
to someone. Yeah.
On the instant.
I'll get with that.
So then I thought, you're very good, or you're quick. So I was like, right, we were trying, this is welcome to the first exchange. This is the first time we're going to try word association. It's Sonny's word association. Sonny Edwards, are you ready for this? Now, it has to, no thinking, because also Carl Jung says that if there's a pause,
don't count,
or if there's a thought process, it means that the person is
change their mind.
Not change their mind, but they are nervous, or they're a little apprehensive about saying what comes to their mind first because they're frightened of being judged.
But sometimes, I'll be real, sometimes my brain just takes a second to, do you know what I mean?
Anyway.
But go on. So don't be too harsh if I do pause.
No.
I'll try and be as honest.
I would never be harsh on you. First one. Ocean.
Nearly died.
Go on. You can explain it.
So, and I blame this on Tommy Martin, retired boxer. Tommy Martin, right? He was going through a story of bad luck, yeah?
Right.
Without going too deep into it. In his personal life.
Right.
Well, his boxing career was cut short.
Yep.
Relationship ended. House up in the air. All that nonsense, yeah?
Yeah.
Right? So he was having a string of bad luck. My brother brought him over to help him prepare for his world title fight. Something along those lines. Just like a holiday sort of thing as well. On the way to the airport, we went and picked up the Blitz, yeah?
Yeah.
That's bad luck, isn't it? The Blitz, yeah? So we went and picked up the Blitz, yeah, from the airport. It takes 45 minutes or something to get from Malaga airport back to where we was, yeah?
Yeah.
After half an hour in a car that I'd previously shown no signs of anything, yeah? The whole right side bumper was just dragging on the floor on the motorway. Pulled up, had to tape it up until we got to the Empire Pro Tape. Before we got to the I think I'm joking. No, it was genuinely Empire Pro Tape.
It was Empire Pro Tape. No way. DJ will love this.
And then what happened? We got there, sorted that out anyway. But that's what we was driving at like 70 miles an hour in to me a foreign country still, and the whole right side bumper was on the floor. Like, do you know how mad that is? Like that's nuts, right? Anyway, fast forward, something else happened. Fast forward again. We thought it was a good idea.
Hang on. Ocean nearly died. We better be going full circle on.
Oh, no. I've got videos to put into this one. Don't worry about that. No, seriously, right? So we thought it was a good idea on the calmest day, to take our sponsor, shout out Simon. His speedboat, he's got a captain license. My brother's got a captain license, which taught me one thing. That getting a captain's license is very fucking easy, because these two had no idea, So we go out, right? This was one of the best days ever. We was going out, we was just driving, it was all flying it around. There was me, I don't want to miss no one out. There was me, Tommy Martin, Charlie, Simon, and there was someone else, and it's escaping me. I'm sure there was someone else. It might not have been. It might have been us four.
Right.
But what happened was, 8 miles off of coast. Bear in mind, we've had the sickest time. We've seen like a school of dolphins all jumping out next to around us.
So you're having a glorious time.
Like, something out of a film. Like,
right.
So I'm seeing we're driving a speedboat, and there is dolphins everywhere jumping up and out of the sea doing all this, all underneath us, like something out of a film. Anyway, we see a white square in the distance. Bear in mind, at this point, if you look back, you can't see no land. We're 8 miles off of the sea.
Right.
Yeah. And no, serious. You're laughing. Yeah.
I'm laughing because I'm like,
you're laughing.
It's like what's that movie that Mike Tyson is in with the tiger?
What, Hangover?
Hangover.
But we're all sober as a judge, yeah. So we've just gone out 8 miles out of the sea, and it's not even like we was doing a party thing or nothing like that. There was literally 4 lads, I'm pretty sure. Me, Simon, my brother, and Tommy Martin. There might have been like a stalker there or someone there, but maybe not. Anyway, so we see this white box. We go over to it, yeah. What's that? We see attached to this box, and I'm going to show you the pictures after, we see attached to this box a massive sea turtle. A massive, a massive sea turtle. I don't think you understand, like probably like 100 years old sea turtle, massive, And what had happened? This was a lobster box. So what they do is they put the lobster things down at the bottom of there. They string it, and it goes all the way from the bottom all the way to the bear man. We're 8 miles out, so can you imagine how deep the sea is? Yeah. So, and there's a white box. I don't know how to come and collect it and pull it up. Yeah. But the sea turtle, just the rope, the string, had been wrapped around its neck about 4 or 5 times. Yeah.
So it was struggling. It couldn't get out. It was
trapped. Couldn't get out. It was trapped, getting choked. Yeah. Don't know how long it had been there, obviously. So we've gone to inspect. As we've gone to inspect, silly fuckers, yeah. You know the rope that's attaching the sea turtle, the thingy, and the bottom of the sea ocean. Yeah. That got wrapped in our propeller. So now we're stuck, just like the fucking sea turtle on this white box. 8 miles off of sea. Like I said, if you look back, you can't see no Istan Mountain. You can't see no ports. You did this, a 360. You couldn't see another boat. I'm talking, we was in that, like, we was in blue. Do you know what I mean? There was nothing, Stuck. Engine won't start because it, obviously panicking, tried revving the thing out, went zzz and wrapped it around like 100 times. I'm thinking it's
the bloody sea turtle.
Fuck the sea turtle. Fuck the sea turtle for now, Fuck the sea turtle. We're stuck, I'm not going to say poxy little speedboat because it was a real nice one. But in the grand scheme of things, a poxy little speedboat. You know what I mean? A nice speedboat, though. Don't get me wrong. A big one. But stuck. Engine won't go.
Were you sweating? Start sweating.
So not straight away. I weren't too bad yet. And do you know what I loved about this, Because for me, that was the closest I've been to dying, right?
Yeah.
And because the story gets worse. But I was really calm and cool when everyone else was kind of like, a couple of jokes I said, But yo, Charlie and Tommy, they were stressing. Like, they were proper like, because we thought it was 45 minutes later after Simon's
called. There's no phones, there's no mobiles around at this stage.
Thank God there was one. Like the
emergency boat.
So we've had to get onto the bed, man. We don't know what we're talking about. So we don't know what longitude and latitude and all of this nonsense is. We don't even know if they know. We don't even know if they know where we are.
Yeah.
Because we can't see a single fucking thing. Like, we're just going, Simon just went, oh, we're here. Numbers, An hour later, clear 45 minutes, nothing. We've not seen no one. We've not seen. But after about 20 minutes, this is no exaggeration, this was the calmest day of water. And we can't move now. The water starts doing this. So for about 20 minutes, we was just doing this. Like this, and it was getting worse and worse and worse, And genuinely was making our, like was laughing, but it was like, fucking hell, Tommy. You come in and we're all about to die. Cheers, mate. Fucked the car up last week. Like, so I was blaming Tommy. But I was cool. I was laying down to sort of, what will be. But that's why when you asked me ocean. Yeah. Because for 20 minutes there was turbulence.
See, Carl Jung knew what he was doing with this word.
But serious, but serious,
Go on.
Serious, The man came. Look, I'm going to show you right now.
I bet you. Are you going to show me a picture of the man?
The man came, look, and there he is, freeing the sea turtle.
Oh my, the size of him.
See what I mean? Like, he'd been working on that port for 15 years, never seen anything like it. Never seen anything. But we was trapped to the wire that's strapped to him, like on another side of it.
Wow.
We'll just go back round. Be careful about swiping because my Snapchat memories are a bit.
I'd rather not see your Snapchat
Yeah.
memories.
You really wouldn't. But yeah, I like the
what a story! I wish you could all see this, but it's a beautiful big sea turtle. Sea turtle.
But yeah, so he came. They saved us, cut him free. We got off, and yeah,
What
I
a
don't think I've probably been on a boat since that. Not properly.
Oh, face your fear! Come on, you.
I'm not scared of it, but like at that point, it made me realize
I'll rent a little boat in the lake at the end of this road. We'll go out rowing someday.
No, but I think it made me realize how fragile my reality was. That did.
That you could be gone
serious.
like that.
But that makes you like enjoy. That make you enjoy it. So only once can you accept and admit that death is inevitable. Can you start enjoying life?
Exactly. I actually had, not that I was going to die, but I had a moment over Christmas. Obviously, I stayed here for Christmas. I didn't go home to Ireland.
Yeah.
And I've moved into my new house. And
A mansion.
And
The Playgirl mansion.
Playground mansion. But I live there alone, so it's a very grim playgirl mansion.
Well, for some parties.
Yeah.
For some parties.
Yeah. Well, a civilized party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have like a poker night.
Yeah, but am I allowed with
civilized.
poker night? It always seems like poker night is only the boys.
Oh, you'd be
I'll
pouring
be
a
in
drink.
the kitchen. I'll be in the kitchen pouring the drinks.
Sorry, I thought that was.
They're actually. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love that. So, but anyway, I was there and I was like, sometimes my family know that if I don't reply to texts or calls, that I'm just having like a
Lydia moment.
I'm having a Lydia moment. Just like let me just, because I'm on my phone so much. But they know that I'll come around after like a day or two, right? And the girls as well know that as well. And then because it was Christmas and because I wasn't actually working or wasn't like busy, that I wasn't on my phone, I was just sitting there. I was like, I could be dead now.
And no one's checking up on you.
I could be dead now. And they just didn't check up on me. Then I was like, I could be dead now. They were
But
like,
I bet it annoys you when they
10 hours since we spoke to you. I was like, but then I was like, what if I did die here?
Mm-hmm.
How long would it take for someone to come and find me?
It's crazy, isn't it?
So yeah, so then that was a fun 24 hours. But right, okay, sorry, back to Sonny's word association. The second one is monster.
Munch.
Can you remember the original Monster Munch?
What do you mean by the original?
Like they changed Monster Munch,
the
didn't
packet. They changed the packet.
Changed the packet, but they
changed the packet to the original package.
Lads over here do mad. You've got like a pickled onion Monster Munch.
I like the red ones. The red ones.
Yeah,
they're
the real,
crazy.
the one. Yeah, those ones.
They nearly made me fucking fail weight against Marcel Braithwaite. I was smacking them.
Not wise, is it putting
2 weeks
Parson
before,
Monster Munch into you?
No.
Social. Yeah.
I was gonna think boxing social. Then that's the first one that comes
Well,
to
you
my head.
can't mention boxing social on the First Exchange podcast.
Beep.
Except you can. Hi, Rob Tevitt.
Yeah, shout out Rob.
Shout out Rob. Oh yeah, go again. Okay, boxing social, you can do that. Pineapple.
What's that thing? The first thing that popped in my head was that. Oh, there was some mad internet thing. What was it like? Apple. Pine. He knows what I'm talking about.
Producer Reese is laughing his head off. What is it? Is it like a thing?
I can't remember. It was like pineapple. Yeah, it was like apple. Oh, I don't know, but there was some mad internet thing that was going around. Like,
It was dirty.
nah, it was just like
It's
it was just a
funny
weird.
bit.
It was just like a weird pineapple apple pie. I
Okay,
can't remember.
did you know? Have you ever gone past a house and they have some kind of pineapple, either it be an ornament, an actual pineapple, or something out the front of their house
I'm not sure. No, maybe.
or in a car?
No, I know people that have had like little pineapple ornaments though. I feel like some family relatives have had like
no.
just like a little. No, but they have like the Buddha heads in it, right?
Oh
Actually
yeah,
have a candle
no, it
in
wouldn't be
or
that.
something.
It will be carefully placed for people to see outside the front door.
What does that mean?
Well, you should Google that.
Why is it like
It's a bit of a. If you have a pineapple, like
if you have a pineapple, what? Someone can just knock on the door or something?
yeah, Pretty much, yeah.
And what's on the other side of the door?
You and your husband, or you and your wife.
Oh, it's like a swingers thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The only thing I know is about the keys in the fruit bowl. That's
It's
swingers as well, isn't it?
it's essentially like an extension of the fruit bowl. I didn't know this. I was told.
You
this.
didn't know this, but you just told me
I have
about
no
it.
experience in this. I was told this by
Okay,
someone.
so there's no pineapple.
I was told this when someone said you should really take that pineapple down off your front door, Lydia.
I wonder how
I'm
weirdos keep
joking.
knocking. You know what I mean?
Kidding. Newspaper. Lights.
Lies.
Oh yeah, we'll. Idol.
American.
Yeah. Who's your favorite panel member on American Idol?
I didn't even watch it. Just the first one up. Sam McCall,
Simon Cowell, yeah.
obviously. Actually, I watched a few actually. I actually watched a few. But not really.
Beef.
Beefy.
Beefy.
Liam Smith.
Oh yeah, that's true. Peace.
John Lennon.
Oh yeah. What's your favorite John Lennon song or Beatles song?
Imagine. That's why it makes me think of that.
Yeah.
But I was big on Beatles. I grew up on Beatles.
Were you?
Yeah, my brother used to sing.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Give over.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, he got a letter from, was it Paul McCartney or John Lennon? I think
You're lying.
when he won a the Pagum or the Bognor Regis talent competition.
Actually.
And he sang Help, I think, and won.
You were he
came second.
Charlie.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the letter was written by my dad, but he did get a letter from John Lennon or Paul McCartney when he won. When he came second, and he should have. And the letter said you should have won. You know what I mean?
Oh, I forgot. Oh, that's a good story. Eyes.
Blue is what I thought. I don't know why. I haven't even got blue eyes.
What colour are your eyes? Your eyes they're green. A little bit of a marble.
Nah, they're green.
Are they green?
They're
okay.
green.
Vibe.
Couldn't describe it. It's a good one, isn't it?
What? Wait, what did you say there?
Couldn't describe it.
Couldn't describe it.
Describe a vibe? How'd you do that? Any vibe you've ever felt before? How could you describe it?
It's not for this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Twitter.
Fun.
Loyalty.
Everything.
Yes. Important.
I don't think nothing's important in this world.
Except your children.
No.
What?
Not to everyone. Nothing's universally important. So to you, it's important, yeah, obviously. But nothing's important in this world.
Globally.
Even we're not important in this world. Look at that. Look at how they treat us.
We're a slave to the system, as I like to say. Fake.
Common. Very common. Every day, every conversation. 9 times out of 10 conversations you'll have. It's very refreshing when you have a real conversation.
That's a very interesting word to put with fake.
But it's the commons, the fake's the commonness. Real's the rarity.
Really?
Why do people use the word?
Really?
Oh, it's refreshing. How really is? It's
really? What did you say? That real is rarity.
I think it's yeah. The real's the rarity, and fake is common. Anyone can be fake. It's easy because as humans, we are wired through our upbringing and our environments to, let him down easy. Oh, you can't say it like that. Oh, you can't say that. Like, people won't say the real reasons. They'll do the spin doctor all the time.
They will fake scenarios or situations or conversations to avoid conflict, to avoid the repercussions of the truth.
Yeah, and also people want people
when
to
really
like them.
It's not about the truth, it's how you deliver the truth that is important.
For sure. Don't get me wrong, because you could deliver the truth the best way.
Yeah.
But sometimes the truth's hard to hear.
Absolutely.
So some people don't tend to want to be a truth teller because maybe the times they have told someone the unfettered truth, it's blew up in their face. So now they live a life of every conversation that they have, they slightly water it down. They might not mention some things. Like, well, really, the people that love you, they're the people that you need to hear from the most. And you need it to be not just, he's hot at the minute, like, let's disregard all the shitty things he does, or, because everyone's a project. No one's finished. No one, like, in this world, like, you can be Because bear in mind, for me, money's not everything. So money's nothing at the same side. It doesn't buy you happiness. And I think it was Dave Allen that might have said it on this podcast. It doesn't buy you happiness, it buys you independence. And I believe it. And it's true. Like, so, like, no one's really got it figured out. Because we don't really know. Like, there's too many grey areas for anyone on this planet to have it figured out, to be walking through every day and have it completely figured out. Because there's always something that's going to come on later down in the road that now dispels a lot of the things that you knew to know before. But now, you know something else, and now they're not quite the same as what they were before, if that makes sense, and not just waffle. So like I said, everyone's just sort of walking through this, trying to figure it out, trying to balance their, I don't know, their bills, their personal, social life, their Netflix series, whatever they feel is important to them, but it's not important to anyone else. Like, because I could be a dad that, like you said, and like people say to me, oh, it's so nice to see that, oh, like, you're such a good dad, But if you measured up my being a good dadness to their mum of being a good parent, she blows me out of the water. Like, well, she has the kids the majority of the time. Yeah. Like, everything to her second nature. Like, obviously there'll be times of struggle, but like when it's hard, sometimes babies don't cooperate, kids don't cooperate, little dicks sometimes, let's be real, but like, you can say I'm a good parent, but next to her, I wouldn't, like, in some ways, but in some ways I would see that I'm not, because she hasn't got to fly somewhere and not see your kids for 10 days. Do you know what I mean? Yes. But not only that, like, she doesn't get to use the excuse of, oh, I'm in camp for the next 8-10 weeks, I can't have the baby overnight. Yeah. Which might just be an excuse, it might just me be getting out of responsibility, but don't get me wrong, I see them all the time, but there's there's a lot more things that I could do to be better. Do you know what I mean? But unless I sit here and say those things, the only people that are going to know that is me and her, and maybe anyone she's told her, anyone I's told her, anything like that. Like, but I think so really, that's the real. Recognize that, and that you vocalize that. But that's the real. What I'm saying is that's the real. Yet you complimenting me on how good of a dad I am might be true, but I might back the kids when I get home. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, but do you know what I mean? Yes. So even though you're trying to be real, because you know what I mean, that's why in my eyes that this world is like an illusion, isn't it? Everything. So the fake is there constantly. The fake is everywhere. Like the clothes you're wearing to look a certain way, the way you do your makeup for this reason today, but then you might go on a date, you might have this makeup, or do you know what I mean? So it's like everything's just like it's not. You're a good dad in the simulation. Yeah, but like, don't get me wrong, I walk through life I walk through life with a clear heart, and I know that I love those kids ridiculously, and they know it. I told them every single day, multiple times. Like, doesn't mean I couldn't be better. Yeah. Doesn't mean like that there isn't millions and millions of billions of dads out there better than me. Like, but again, it's not a competition. And as long as I know that I'm using my experience, my upbringing, and my morals as a person now to do right by them, that's the, you know what I mean, that's the important thing for me. It's a bit hard to maybe surmise this question now because they're still babies, but when they're a little bit older, do you think you'd be strict? Do you think your dad has rubbed off on you in any way, or do you think you'll do what most do and go the complete opposite and just be anything but strict? No, like right now it's hard because I don't like him being naughty, but I do. I like him being cheeky because the things he says, it's like a little version of me. You can't say that, but secretly behind the kick. Where's he learned it from? Like, oh, you obviously. Like, so the other day, like, he didn't realize no one was listening. Yeah, this is chance. He stubbed his foot and he went, "Oh, fucking hell!" He's 3 years old. We were looking at each other like, "What the fuck's going on?" Like, he ignored it. Do you know what I mean? But he knew he done something wrong. Yeah. Because he went, "Sorry," like straight away. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't like him just being a dick. Like, I don't like him being horrible. That's what I don't like. But I don't like. I like him being cheeky. Yeah, I like him being cheeky. Like, he's got a lot to say, but we have a lot of back and forths. Like, like I'll play the game like I'm his age range sometimes. But then I'll change my voice and I'm not. Yeah. So like, we'll be speaking to his mum, Like, but I'll be like going back and forth. Oh, but he said this.
Yeah.
No, but it's my TV now. He's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I bring it down to his level, but then remind him that he's not. So just so I can. But he's cheeky as
He's
fuck.
cute though. How could you be mad at him?
But he's got
ever?
so much to say, and to say he's only really just turned 3, and he's been on it for a while now. Like he's so intelligent, like genuinely. Like he can tell you all the dinosaurs. Can tell you why that's that one, why that's not. Like he's got a good memory and he picks up things quite fast. I've only just started now because he comes up to me and goes, "Let's do boxing, Dad." Because my way of getting it to him is we play fight all the time.
Yeah.
To the point.
Well, he's done in Steel City quite a bit, right?
Yeah. But I don't. I've not been like, "No, come here, hit pads." Like, no.
Yeah.
But now he'll come up to me and it's gone, "Let's do boxing, Dad." And then because of what he's seen, it's gone from him just wanting to bash me up. Don't get me wrong, he does that a lot. Yeah. But now, put your hands up, Dad. Put your hands up. No, wants to hit my hands. You know what I mean? So now I can get him to do hands up, footwork, move. And he might go, but he'll do it for he might do it for 30 seconds. That's enough boxing now, Dad. Go sit down. That's fine. But then an hour later, he might come, might do 5 minutes, might be playing with me. I might tap him and might go, oh, he does block like that, like George Foreman. Like, but I'm not pushing on him. I'm not forcing on him. If he comes to me and asks me to do it, like, you know
but the seed has definitely been planted there already.
And I don't want to push him into boxing because I know from my experience with the sport that if your heart isn't 100% in it, anything else, it's all right when you're doing well.
Yeah.
It's all right when you're beating people that you should be beating and beat within yourself. But it's that moment where you're in that fight where they've given you moments where it's not just all smooth sailing. You got to come back from a little something here. And you know, it's at them moments when your heart's not in it, when you don't actually want to box more than you want to turn up in a club or go on 4 holidays a year with your missus and be in restaurants and do hotel weeks away and go walk fucking pumpkin fields at Halloween. You know, if boxing isn't,
never gone on a pumpkin walk before.
You're probably dating the wrong men. But what I'm saying, but if boxing isn't, if you don't get hit with a shot and your only thought is surviving, getting through the round to win the fight, or adjusting to win the fight, or doing whatever you need to do in that ring. Like, who was it? Someone said something. One fighter. I know what he said, but I can't think who it was. I think it might have been Foreman. Because I've watched I've been watching old fighters recently. A lot of their, but not just like fights. I've been watching like their life, their career back to end.
Yeah.
Like them. I've been studying a lot recently, more than I have really the past.
Why?
Because I spent 17 years always looking at what's in front of me in boxing. So whilst I was an amateur, I knew all the amateurs. Whilst my brother was boxing in London, I knew all the fighters top to bottom of the card. The regionals, I knew who was coming there. I was the Warrior boxing kid. I was on it. Do you know what I mean? I knew him. I was 11 years old. I knew him. I was 11, 12 years old, and I ran the Warrior Boxing, which is like the matchmaking database and the form for the whole boxing club. I was an 11, 12-year-old kid, but I've always been like on it. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm kind of forgetting where I was going with this. Go on, can you?
George Foreman quotes.
Yeah, and he said
this,
he went, "Oh, it was hurting, but I was ready to die in that ring."
which is the most insane concept ever.
But do you know if you're not? Do you know if you're like? But as a boxer, I don't feel like there's any chance of that dying.
This is what I like with boxing fans who like couch boxing fans. It's like, yeah, we all love to go the back and forth of this person, that person, he's shit, he's this, he's that.
Right, but if you're not a world champion and short of that, if you're not number 1 or top 5 pound for pound, to someone in boxing, you're shit, you're useless, you're terrible,
exactly.
You're overhyped,
right?
You shouldn't have beat him. Like,
show me, list the bloody jobs that these people are doing that they have to wake up on a Monday morning and face potential death or face potential long-term damage. Like, you're going into bloody type yes and no on a feckin' computer for 7 hours in that day.
But now, let's underpin it. Why do you think...
No judgment on somebody who does that. But to do that and then come back on Twitter and be like, Sonny Edwards is shy, he can't box, it's
but
like...
the words for that is catharsis. So, you might have someone...
How is that catharsis?
It's an emotional... The emotional release of tension and stress
So
in a healthy environment.
The cathartic release of that for the person that's doing it.
Yeah, not for me,
but
obviously.
but it's not.
It might be detrimental to someone else. To you, it's not right. To you, it's not right. But do you know how many hundreds of thousands of people are doing this? They log into the computer and they do it.
Yeah.
But the reason why they need a channel to vent, and the reason why I don't take anything seriously is because I've lived 26 years of my life. I've had a couple altercations in that 26 years, but I can guarantee never one of them has ever happened because someone's come up to me and gone, "You're shit, you're ugly, you're small, you're goofy." Like, that's not how the world works. Mm-hmm. So I'm fine working on Twitter like that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't like you because of this reason, but like that doesn't happen in real life. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the reason why these people need somewhere to channel it is because they wouldn't have the confidence saying that or anything remotely close to that with their chest in the real world to anyone other than their peer group. They wouldn't because I've seen the change in people around, everyone has. So when you see some person there around this group of people and I don't know, they might speak with their chest out. They might be bowling around. They might be like a bit of a bully. Like they might be a bit of like a. But then if you take them out of that environment, put them in another one, they're all stiff. Oh, you're right, mate. Bending over to shake people's hands and that. I've seen the change in hundreds of people, and that's why I've always been kind of like I like being consistent. Like my energy, my demeanor stays quite because you're not gonna make me feel away because I'm in your company or vice versa. Like I can be just as rude as you. And I can fight as well. So if it's that, then I feel confidence with that fact. Yeah. I don't go out looking for anything because I'm not a trouble causer. I don't. And my version of the catharsis is, I don't find enough people in my day-to-day life that give me a reason to vent out these sort of things, because everyone to me they're nice for the most part. I don't have it. We might have some back and forth, might have some banter, but my life, I don't know, people aren't just naturally horrible to me.
No, I think that in your real life, the people who you surround yourself with are look at where you are. You're in the gym, you're at Empire, you're with your friends, so you're those surroundings.
But I venture out into the real world, and I'm not even famous like that, yeah. But I can't go on a night out with someone headlocking me about oh my God, I've watched the last 2 fights. You're so good.
Of your people?
No, of random people. I can't.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. Because of the way I am, hood up, bopping through everywhere. I'm quick. I don't let on to people. Yeah.
Yeah.
People probably see me because I sometimes get messages like, "Oh, I saw you in but you just."
Yeah.
But now I'm talking so I have people headlock me on nights out. Oh my God, you're the best.
Is this when people are drunk and they're like?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
But out of all them, say that's happened 50 times, say it's happened 100 times, I don't know how many times it's happened, yeah. Never, ever, even with pissed people, has someone gone, "Do you know what, you little prick?" and tried fuck it. It's never happened. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone, when they see you in person, is always quite nice.
Yeah.
Even if annoying. Even if yo, I'm in the dance right now, trying to get my little...
I'm in a dance?
I'm in the dance. I'm
in
the club.
And are you dancing?
I dance.
Which is a dance?
I proper dance.
I would die if I saw you dancing.
Do you know what? Yeah.
Proper out on the floor having a bop.
But we're at the table these days. What?
Oh, you're always at a table.
I just said it to fish you. But
I hate that shit of
no, serious.
At the table.
I'm joking. We leave the dance. We leave and go to the dance floor and turn up because that's where the turn ups happen. Of course we do.
The turnip.
That's where you turn up. That's where you catch 1, 2 wine and
a turnip in Ireland is a vegetable.
Yeah, but that's a turnip. A turn up is
Imagine
going to a party, yeah, and then
turning it up. Right. Okay.
And that's what we do.
It goes up.
What I'm saying is, we go out. We have fun. We don't go out on bad vibes. That's probably why no one's ever horrible. You know what I mean? Because we're not going out acting a certain way or being a certain way. Me and my people are all real, so we go out.
Right, all your friends are lovely.
Yeah, so we go out. We enjoy ourselves. We go home.
But I imagine if you were friends with people who were just have a look of trouble. Sometimes you go out, sometimes you're just I
don't have, don't get me wrong, all my friends can fight. And if you're not the type of person that if your friend is getting jumped on, you're not involved, then you can never be my friend. point blank period. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this is life. Do you know what I mean? Like, any someone's like that, I just lose respect and lose ratings for them.
What about if like you had a friend who wanted to calmly discuss why this fighting is wrong?
Yeah, no, but it might be. But like I said, we don't
That
ever
would be
start.
me.
But what I'm saying is, we don't ever start them. So usually, by the time they're happening, they're unavoidable at this point. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you have to be able to fight.
You just have to fight.
You could be useless, but you just got to at least show the intention of fighting. You know what I mean?
It's
You
the intent of the swing.
Nah, because have you ever heard them stories when someone's like, "Oh yeah, I got jumped the other day. There were 3 lads. I was with 2 mates, but they're not really fighters." I don't fucking care. Do you know what I mean?
No, don't get me wrong. If
What do
I
you
was
mean?
out and one of my friends, male or female, got jumped on, I probably would.
You have to.
Oh, probably.
Because you know what I think it is.
I mean, I'm probably getting decked, but I would definitely throw a punch.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, because the way I walk through life, yeah.
Although I'm good at punching, aren't I? I'm good at my elbows, aren't I?
Yeah, I've seen it. But the way I walk through life is we have this warped reality of what reality really is. Yeah. So what we find it important and what we prioritize isn't the things you really should. Like everyone, yeah, just for survival, should be able to run 5-6 miles without stopping. I'm not saying 1 billion miles an hour, but what I'm saying is there might be some time in your life, yeah, where you've got to run away from something. And what if you can only run 100 meters? Then what the fuck?
I agree.
That's one survival skill. Like, I'm talking as a whole array of them. But what I'm saying is
the first rule of martial arts.
I'm not at the time. I just see the notification. The
first rule of martial arts is if you get into an altercation and there's an opportunity to run, then you run. Yeah. You don't use, that's the first thing because people always say to me, "Oh, you did jiu-jitsu."
If I ran hit from behind.
Like literally, they're like, if you got in a fight now and someone went to attack, what would you do in jiu-jitsu? I'd be like, I would first of all see if I could get away, and then I would sprint. I would be gone. Like, why am I going to like fight someone? I mean, you're not going to do jiu-jitsu on a street on
for sure concrete.
I mean, I have done.
Doesn't work. On the head.
Doesn't work out for the best. But it's like
bare carpet burns or concrete burns.
Might be concrete burns here and there. Yeah. But leg it.
But what I just think is, like, people just imagine if all I always imagine is, what if I was here 1,000 years ago, or 500 years ago?
I actually would
or 100
put a lot
years
of money
ago
on it that you probably were here in some capacity 1,000 years ago.
I wish, like,
you definitely were.
I don't know if I believe in all of that sort of stuff. But
what? Don't. We have so much of the same opinions on all of our stuff.
Because I kind of believe in series of events happen in our thing. It's our parents did whatever they did.
Yeah.
Then our consciousness comes in through the development of those cells.
Yes.
We're born. Then now we're just like living creatures. Like in my eyes, we are no different to ants, birds, anything that can live and feel and has to walk and has to breathe and has to eat. Like, we are the same. I don't know at what point mankind put their hand up and said, "Yo, we run this whole setup." Yeah, I don't know when that happened. Yeah, but I know that whoever pressed the start button on this earth, whatever series of events ran that was never the intention. That one species has dominion over the whole of the world. So do you have
no spiritual
Nah.
understanding or acknowledgement at all? Like, do you, when you look at like consciousness or like the attachments of like emotion, even like when you like, do you not even
do you know what it is?
Go on. Like, how can you?
Do you know everyone's faith?
Yeah.
Everyone's beliefs.
Yeah.
Everyone's support systems of their faith and all that, like whatever they believe to be true
is true.
Because
yeah,
for me, everything that is real and that matters is all internal, intrinsic and personal to the person.
Absolutely.
So therefore, like, I personally, this is a controversial topic hour.
Yeah.
Here at the First Exchange podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe in anything because I'm one of those that have to see to believe. That's not me saying that I know God doesn't exist or or anything for that matter. But I do believe in people.
Yeah.
So, and obviously people here, but when I say I believe in people, what I mean is I believe in people and the intentions of people and why they would intend it to be that way. Like, so when I look at religion, say for example, and I look from a completely, like, take a step back, and I've got my 26 years of experience in my head now, how I sort of see the world, how I sort of see things happen now, because history repeats itself.
Yes.
Like, you know, when everyone's just getting a bit out of rowdy, so something happens. Do you know what I mean? In this world, and always has. Do you know what I mean? There's always something to focus our eyes on, or make us fall back in place, some which way, somewhat how. It just always has, in my opinion. So, I don't know. At some point, when there was kind of madness going on for people and they were a bit unruly, I don't know, people might have got their heads together and went, look, we need to sort this out. Imagine if there was a man in the sky watching everyone. Imagine if everyone thought that. Do you know what I mean? And if you do good and you do bad, that's why there's certain stuff like live with the laws of the land. It just seems all a bit... Maybe it could just be people at some point have put these teachings to sort of not help control, but not just control, but help people live a better life and give them more of a purpose of life, which I understand. I completely understand. But like that is
corporatized religion.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
do you know what I mean? I know it's people, the corporation of religion.
I know people that do the church thing, like. And like, come on, them organised churches, they're basically like concert halls where people come, give money and get preached to feel better. Like, a lot of them to a certain degree, especially when you look at them popular ones. Like, say in America, you see them big ones with like thousands of people in them.
Faith song or something like that, isn't it?
There's loads. Well, look at SPAC Nation. Look at Pastor Toby.
Who?
Pastor Toby.
I don't know.
You have to research SPAC Nation.
But
SPAC Nation, research SPAC Nation.
It's like It kind of does bring you back into the conversation of like the way I look at the world, and it's sort of like who am I to say that anyone's version of religion is false or incorrect or true, and it's literally just like, as long as we can all be here and coexist. I always like to, like, you know, nature is my God. You know, like when I look at nature and I look
that's
at
some
like
paganry stuff. Though,
yeah, absolutely. Like,
some
I mean,
witchcraft.
Like,
no wonder why you got called a witch 10 minutes before this. Yeah, but to religious people, you're like, that's like devil. That's devil stuff.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So when we're set there, from the maybe from that, is it the antagonistic view where you're not sure? Like, that's what I am. That's where I am. I'm not atheist to the point I disbelieve. Agnostic. That's the one. Yeah. But we sit there and we're like, it may be right, it may be thing, but for you. But then some of the religions will be saying, well, if they believe this, they're the devil. You know what I mean? They got help.
It also goes into the conversation of for balls now. What's the name of the bloody thing? What's it called when it's like science was kind of the big one?
Scientology.
No, like that. It was the kind of like a trend. The science was the trend, not a paradox, but whatever the word is. The same conversation can be had for eating, you know, dietary choices. I eat meat. I believe that meat, animal protein and animal fats are the way in which humans are designed to be, and that is what will help us excel as humans.
I don't completely agree to that, but bear in mind I'm a big eater, but I don't agree with that.
Shut up and let me have my point.
But I need to get in before you just...
But also, I understand that other people are pescatarian or vegan or blah, blah, and I'm absolutely okay with that. But I have vegan friends who are absolutely, like, disturbed by how I can go to a restaurant and get, like, a medium rare slice of steak.
The blood dripping out.
Yeah, you know, but... Again, it's just like what works for you. Again, I always, and because I believe in nature so much, and that is, you know, if we're going to have a God, that is my God. But I take a lot of inspiration from children, babies, and 2 from animals, in that, like, if animals can coexist in the world together, you know, even your dog and your cat. It's a cycle of
life, but it's a cycle of life, because obviously hunters, prey,
exactly.
They eat.
Yes, and I do believe that we just go back into the soil. We've come from the soil. We're going to go back into it.
I think that's what I'm saying. I think humans are trying to break the cycle of life and wondering why the whole world's scratching its head, and well, I don't know how many which you believe, but like climate change, polar caps melting, emissions, the bees just flying up north and not coming back. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like we're sort of over evolving in that sense.
Yes.
Like we are way too that the acceleration of technology is and will be very detrimental to the Earth's longevity in some which way.
That is a given. Like that's not when people say like the attack on the meat industry and the attack on the dairy industry at the moment by major corporations is not a conspiracy theory, in my personal opinion, right? There's new taxes, there's new laws being introduced where it's more difficult for local farmers to organically raise meat and dairy in the proper.
So they're trying to make it harder.
They're trying to make it harder because, I mean, it's like I'm trying to find the words to like be totally like, you know, not absolutely torn apart on the internet for this. But the mass consumption of like soy, of corporatized GMO and all this stuff, it's so profitable for corporations to adopt that this is huge.
This is push. My language, what we're speaking right now. You know that, innit?
There's this huge big push on like veganism, huge big push on what I would consider not real foods. You know, if you look at a packet of burgers or whatever you're pulling out of a freezer at Lidl or Aldi and Tesco, and you can't understand the ingredients around the back of it, then that food should be
once
binned.
You're buying frozen food straight away, there's your biggest issue, isn't there?
Exactly, right? So like, you know, it's like, but then you say that to people, and you know, then there is the conspiracy theory off the back of that the globalists are trying to put soy and, you know, non-real products into our diet because they want us to be sick. They know that is going to break down the body into a certain way so that it will make us easier to control.
Look what we clean our teeth with.
That we have to then depend on pharmaceuticals and all the rest. Like that is a rabbit hole that you can go down it, but there is no lie there in that even to the point of like, if you look at the HSC in Ireland or the NHS and you look at the nutritional dietary advice that they have for people who are ill under their care or people who just want to get healthy, and one of the ones that's on them is saturated fats. It does not take a scientist to look online and see what polyunsaturated fats do to a human body, and what gluten does to a human body. Like that's not a conspiracy theory.
Nah, but there's a lot
we're
of
down a hole.
But do you genuinely believe that humans were made to eat meat? Like, because bear in mind, I'm a big eater, but I don't.
No, I don't.
I think we evolved to be able to cultivate.
I believe that diets are. I believe that I have a particular, being Irish and being European, I have a diet that is suited to myself. Same way that if I was from the Mediterranean diet.
I'm talking about humans in general. Because what I'm saying is, if we was designed to eat meat, we'd be sprinting down the road or wherever we are, headlocking one, snapping its neck, and eating it there where it stands. Does that make sense? What animals do you need to cook meat to give to? Meat eating ones.
I don't believe that.
Look at our teeth. We haven't got. Look at a dog and look at how they can eat.
Yeah, but that is over. Actually, I had a conversation with one of my scientist friends actually the other day where she was talking about the evolution of the human jaw and human teeth.
Yeah, because
and that is over. I mean, that's like.
It was when rich people started eating meat as like a status symbol. That's what it was. They could have cows and didn't need to just get the. Are you
denying that you don't believe that like back in the day of the cave, that do you think that man and woman, we use man as a general term, existed on berries? You don't think that they took fish from the oceans, that they killed boars, that they killed chickens?
But at that time, them humans, them Homo sapiens, them Neanderthals, them cavemen, them inhabitants of the Caucasus Mountains, where however you want to go far back,
Very good. Yeah.
yeah, however far you want to go back, they weren't getting a Tesco delivery truck, yeah.
No,
With
because
water
it's the
pump chicken.
hunter-gatherer. That's the idea.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, yeah, these times, these humans, for me, could have done it all with very little tools.
Yeah.
Right now, we couldn't. So I don't think the humans that exist here now, right, were designed to eat meat like that. Do you know what I mean? Because we've had to. Oh, hold on. We won't get sick and die of salmonella poisoning if we cook it. Like, what other meat eater has to do that? Like, what other animal? You don't see a shark snap up a human leg. Oh, it's raw. Let me put that one back in the ocean. Like,
yeah, I mean,
these things do not happen in any of, like, does that not make sense?
It does. But what I'm trying to say
But
is...
you can train your body. Because I learned that from when I was told about a dog. It's like, if you're going to put them on a raw diet,
look
put them on a raw,
at
never give
the
them
most
cooked meat.
famous boxer that I know that's vegan at the moment is Lawrence Okoli.
I don't think he's fully vegan, though.
He has to be. He's fronting a vegan McDonald's bloody campaign.
No, but he went for a vegan stage, and he has, like...
He definitely still is vegan.
But I still think he eats meat from time to time. I don't know that, though. He's a friend of mine, but...
Allegedly.
I think he does it publicly. I don't think he's, like, a strict vegan.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I thought.
But no, he does promote it, and he does...
Nate Diaz, MMA fighter Nate Diaz, is pescatarian. He doesn't eat red meat.
Oh, is that what pescatarian is?
A pescatarian eats fish. Doesn't eat red meat, but will eat fish.
What about chicken?
No. Pescatarian is just fish.
Okay, well, okay. I was nearly sold on the pescatarian then, but I just eat chicken. I could have started saying I was that.
Right, let's finish our bloody thing. Are we on
Okay,
it? We're got like Reese is like actually having a stroke.
Ain't got no better to do.
What?
Ain't got no
Yeah,
better to
you're
do.
grand. Right, finished up these. We said okay, 3 more. Ireland.
Second home now.
Yes, welcome home, buddy.
Yeah.
DMs.
Empty.
Oh, yeah, right.
What do you mean? Yeah.
I don't
right?
believe that for 1 second.
Empty,
You're
man.
brazen.
Nah, that doesn't. Me being brazen on the timeline doesn't equate for success in the DMs. You know what I mean?
What do you think girls are a little bit intimidated by Sonny Edwards?
I think they're intimidated. I just don't think they're that impressed by Sonny Edwards.
Give over. I see how it works.
What do you mean you see how it works? How
I'm
does
in
it
this
work?
industry long enough. I know how the game works.
But I don't feel like I see that.
Status is everything. In
I
this
need
world.
to start thinking I'm more important than I am. Then other people might.
Well, you don't really give the you won't give the impression to me. Maybe it would be different if you're out. You'd be like, yeah, right, Sonny Edwards, yo.
Nah, do you know what's mad? Yeah, I've once met people, and it weren't until like they'd seen my like Instagram. I could have spoke to them for like a few days. Could have had the number. Well, not even about that. They didn't know I boxed. Didn't know I did anything. Like until we had the conversation. Like I don't know. You know, some people they tell you what they do within the first 90 seconds of every conversation. They make sure that you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm just not that way. If you don't ask, I'm not about to tell you something you haven't asked.
Yeah,
You know
I never, when someone asks me that, I don't know. Do you know, like, if you're like, now that I live in Britain and you're making new friends, I will often go into places like for a cup of coffee by myself. But I'll just talk to whoever's next to me, you know, and just chat. And like, you know, it's like, oh, so what do you do? Why are you over here? I always just lie. I just like, oh, I just, you know, do like I just work in an office or whatever.
Right.
Because I just find that, like, you know, not all the time, but if it's like an elderly person, it's just hard to explain that it's like, you know.
Okay, well, that's one reason.
Do you know what I mean? It's just but the main reason I do it is that I found that you're having a lovely conversation, and then if you say like, oh, I do like interviews or like a blah blah, interview this person, that person, boxing, MMA, they just get a little bit like, oh right, and the energy changes because they think that you're like, I don't want to say better than them.
So
it's
what,
not
you got
that.
a superstar syndrome? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not it at all. But they just feel like, oh,
Hear what you're
God.
saying. Do you know what? This is me, yeah.
Yeah.
And the same reason.
But I do say, oh, I'm Sonny Edwards' friend.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know how far that's gonna get you, but like the same reason, like, it's gonna sound bad.
No, it's not.
It is.
Say what
For
you
the
feel.
same reason, I went to a boxing show on a Saturday. Shout out Jingers, Dingers, Bowser, and all them lot there. It was a
How
white
come
collar.
I didn't
White
get to
collar.
go?
It was white collar.
You and bloody Levi went down there. Not even a
It was
shout
good
out.
though, you know. It was good.
Yeah,
you
it
know.
looked mad.
But like they asked me to bring my belt.
You didn't bring your belt in there, did you?
Nah, I didn't.
Because
But
you weren't. It was gone.
I know it wouldn't have been there.
It looked bloody nuts down
There were people down there though. Nah, but like, do you know what it is that? And that's the reason why I don't really go anywhere with me at the same time. Is like I don't, and that's probably what you said. You know, like no, they're not. Like, I don't want to just start like showing off. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I
it's
have a
not-
complex
I'm
of it.
not
I don't want to be. I don't want people to like be rolling their eyes. Go, oh, fucking, I wish you'd shut up about that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't
I'm
want
quite
to.
careful of that, just because
That's the
I'm
thing.
happy. I'm happy with my achievements. I'm happy with my accomplishments. I don't need you going, oh my God, that's so fantastic for me to feel anyway. And if
Yes.
anything, like, I don't know.
So I tell you what, this is the way I do it, right? Is that like, can you imagine if we are in a coffee shop and we don't know each other and we're having a coffee and then I'm like, oh, hey, how are you? Blah, blah. Like, what's your name? And we get chatting. And then I'm like, what do you do? And if you're like, oh, no, I'm not in this industry, because obviously if I was in this industry, I'd know who you were. Or I'd be like, oh my God, that's so weird. This is what I do. But if you were like, oh, I'm a flyweight world champion, boxing world champion. Oh, well done. Oh God. It could maybe be a little bit intimidating. Or
Maybe.
we
I don't really
change the
care.
energy a little
But
bit.
I feel like I'm a.
But
I don't
then
really
also you
think
should
about
be
them
proud
sort
of
things.
it. You should be proud.
Yeah, I don't really, you know what it is? Like I always get, I know you from somewhere. Wait a minute.
And you have to wait for them.
And like, or you look familiar, and I'll just be like, oh, do I? And I always have like a little bit of crack. I'll never be like, oh, you might know me from my performances on
Like-
BT Sport or the. Like, it's not about what I'm about to do.
It's
know
like
what I
what
mean?
I was saying today before we started filming this, that I get recognised the most when I look like a foot.
Yeah. Like I said, it's probably because you're more
Out of the
approachable
gym,
when you have
hair
makeup
up, no
on.
makeup, red, like just in wearing, just absolutely awful looking. Absolutely awful looking.
And is it from
And then-
men?
What?
Is it from men? Boxing 9 times out of 10 will be from
Yeah,
men.
it will be for me. But
But
it's
that
kind of
just
like
goes to
I go on
show-
the train when I'm leaving the gym from Sheffield and I'm coming home. Oh, because I don't drive,
Yeah.
so I'm always on the train. And it's always like I can feel them looking, and I'm like, what are they looking at?
But you know what? Yeah, as a man,
What's going on here? And then I can just see it coming, and it's. I don't mean to say like I'm like, oh, the world is such a scary place as a woman, but sometimes at 10 o'clock on like a thing on your own, coming from Sheffield, and there's some guy like staring at you for 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and you're like, and you have your headphones on, and you're trying to look out the window, and then it's just like, do you do all the, and it's never usually like, are you that Irish girl? It's usually like, you the girl that does all the boxing stuff? Yeah.
but you know what I think it is? I think, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of weirdos out there, both men and women, but
Yeah.
men, like, I would hate to be a girl, genuinely. Like, I hate to be a girl. And don't get me wrong, at times I thought, yo, you lot have a good deal, you know.
I think,
But as I've got older, I've realised, like, I'm happy with, not that I'm saying I was ever borderline transition or anything, but what I'm just saying, only from the other perspective, I
still
wonder
love
what
you
it'd be
if you
like
did.
being, do you know what I mean? But I think, let's be optimistic, take away the weirdos and the weirdos doing weirdo things. I think that just sort of boils down to life. Like, you probably seem more normal, more relatable, more approachable to someone when you're doing some normal day things, you know, out shopping in Tesco or.
yeah.
But if you're all like dolled up and sort of bopping past, they might not feel the because like me, for example, I'd rather chat and conversate and get to know and try move to, let's say, a girl that I find also obviously
You.
attractive. Yeah, obviously attractive.
Yeah.
But like, I don't, not that I don't want them to look perfect, yeah, but I don't want to sit there with the impression that you're trying to look perfect. You know what I mean? If I'm sat there with like, this girl's just come out in like joggers and like a hoodie and I still think she looks cute, then for me that's better than
Yeah.
she's putting so much effort.
Oh, I agree with you.
know
But
what I
there is
mean?
a time when there is times when you can be in joggers and stuff like that, and you look cool, but you look somewhat decent.
But
I'm not saying that I don't. I'm saying that like I get. It usually happens when I look awful, and someone then is like, "Do you mind if I take a picture? Oh, can I send this to my son, or can I send this to?"
just cover your face. You know?
Oh Jesus, do you have to? You know, it's like oh
But imagine me, I don't ever get makeup.
yeah, and that is why. Oh, I'm not going to say.
And I'm wearing a
I was
hat
gonna
to
say,
hide
but
my
I'm not gonna
hairline.
say.
Do you know what I mean?
Guys always like they look the same all the time. They never change what they
That's
look
not
like.
true.
Yeah, no, it is like like
That is so sexist. what you
shut
just
up.
said
It's
there.
the truth. Like you
Guys look the same all the time.
You look, you're because we wear makeup, obviously, so our face looks different with or without makeup. Like I don't really wear a lot of makeup, but like
some men wear makeup.
that is true. Sorry, that was a very, very
I've worn makeup before.
for TV and stuff.
You know, it comes with a job.
I bet you were like, this is.
I was like, I've got a picture, right? It's the picture of me
Actually,
in the
sorry,
suit.
men do actually wear makeup as
Yeah,
well,
they
but you
do, they
know
do.
what I mean in that, like.
But honestly, I thought like that was one of my favorite pictures of me. It's like a high shot. I'm on BT, the panel, suited, looking
A
up.
little bit of blush.
Mate, I look sexy. I thought, no wonder why you girls have it on all the time. Like, I looked, but you know, like your little.
Wait till you start contouring, then you're like,
know what I
oh, high
mean?
cheekbone. I'm
It'd
like,
be game over.
right, let's finish this bloody game and let's go home. Connection.
I know that's a weird word.
Oh well, I'm gonna carry on. You know, it's the only one you couldn't answer. What is going on inside you that you can't answer the connection question?
I don't know, because it depends what sort of connection it is.
Oh,
You know what I mean, I'm a single male. Do you know what I mean? Remember, men aren't loved unconditionally in this world.
oh, who bloody said that? It's been circulating all fucking week. Who was it? The bloody what?
Yeah, I said it. But men aren't loved unconditionally in this world.
Not
Only women,
not
children,
Jamie bloody Fox.
only women, children, and dogs are.
Who said it? It's the comedian that's not Martin Lawrence. Chris Rock.
Chris Rock. I've not seen it.
Chris Rock.
but-
It's the Chris Rock thing.
Yeah, but no, genuinely, and I believe that.
Listen,
So what?
shut up.
Connection
It's a
to
man's
me.
world. It's a man's world.
It
okay?
is. It is.
Yeah.
It is. Like we won't disagree that. Like, especially like I think biologically the way things are preset though. Like, I mean, say if you was a female boxer at my level stage, and had 2 kids, would you have been able to do it all at 26? Within 20, like, do you know what I mean? The obstacles there that you'd have had to put your body through to do what I do. And
Well,
just in
there is
boxing.
the biological part of like having 2 kids.
Do you know what I mean? And then having to nurture them for
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Maybe not right now because your 2 kids are quite young.
Exactly, that's what
But
I'm saying.
I do feel like there is that potential to go on and like because it's plenty
Yeah,
of
but
fighters
then
that
like
had
if you
children too.
had a business,
Yeah.
like, and he's a great candidate, she's a great candidate. Oh, but she's 25. We found out that she's in a committed relationship. Well, she might go and have a baby, and then I've got to pay her for this many things. Then she go, and then she probably won't come back. Like
see
I'm not
where
trying to
you're
be. I'm
going.
not trying to be controversial.
Yes,
I'm trying to be
but
realistic on the differences.
That is
we
what
don't get
has
to.
happened.
Yeah.
That is how the society like
is,
corporate ladder, blah
And
blah.
not only
That's how
that-
it has played out. Is
and not
that
only
women
that-
are less, like if any paperwork that you look at in terms of the male and female in the work world, is that women have been looked at as a good commodity in a sense that they do twice the work of the man for half the pay. That's not like that's something that was is in paperwork that is why women were hired for certain jobs, right? But then also on the flip side, the reason why women weren't given opportunities like climbing the corporate ladder is that can we afford to lose her for 9, 10, 11, 12 months of the year when she goes off to start having children, which is usually what will happen
And
when
to
a
be
woman
fair,
gets
it's,
older and has kids.
It's like a reasonable headache for the employer.
Absolutely.
You can see why.
Absolutely.
Like even a female boss,
Yes.
a female CEO might think.
if I have a staff member that's going to go
And how many times they never
for,
come back to
like-
work as well? They do all their
Yes.
maternity. Like I know how many school teachers
Yeah.
they got a job for 3 months, got pregnant, went off,
Yeah.
and then never ever came back. You know what I mean?
But that is their
But
choice.
got their 1.5 year pay.
But
So obviously, as a boss, you're thinking. But don't get me wrong, I'm a big female advocate. I'm a big
I know
female.
you- I know you love
women.
females.
I think women can and consistently do everything that men do and in abundance. Like I'm looking for a woman that completes all my shortcomings, and there's a lot of them. My shortcomings, you know what I mean? So it might be hard, but I think that in a woman, I'll be able to find them, get the partnership, get the match up.
I think
Get me?
that your shortcomings, like, I think you possess a lot of good qualities that maybe you have a lot of good qualities that not a lot of men your age have at this stage in their life, I feel.
Then
In
I
my
probably have a lot
experience.
of bad qualities that them same men don't have. Do you know what I mean?
What's your worst quality?
In what sense?
Like, for me, the worst thing is that someone would cheat on someone.
Okay, I've been that person.
Yeah, but
But
you've
as
learned
a-
from it.
As I've got older, I started feeling the shame and guilt on it.
Yes.
And that's when I kind of stopped the whole cheating thing.
Exactly. So you've done something, you've learned from it.
Probably got commitment issues. I've got a low threshold for things. I sort of, I don't know. Once stuff start going away, I feel like, this is another, like, but I've never had anything or even seen anything. Like, all the relationships I've ever seen in my life.
Your blueprint is skewed.
Like, my mum and dad.
Yes.
They did the whole married divorce thing. My sister's relationships, like, she's had long ones, but then they've gone, and then she's had them, and then, like.
So what is the answer there?
Love is cursed by monogamy.
No, that's not the answer.
I'm joking.
The answer is you now have a choice as an adult in this world to change the course of history and your family dynamic.
No, but I, like, it's like the amount of times that I sit there and wholeheartedly think, nah, like, I want to be settled down, even if it's with someone particular, and I've done that.
You're too young to be settled down.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, so my head's there sometimes, but right now, the consistency, like, it just isn't there for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, the consistency of, I'm stuck in.
Go on.
The honeymoon phase, like, over
you're
and over
addicted.
and over
Yeah, because you're a.
But I don't think I'm addicted because I'm difficult. So I don't think I'm always the one doing the legging. I'm getting legged as well. I get blocked. I get blocked all the time. Probably once a week.
For being brazen.
Nah.
For what?
The girls just being sick of my shit. You know.
Because you're what, ignoring them.
I'm quite slow in my replies, but I'm not the worst. I don't know what it is. I'm a difficult person. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
and
but
I think if I say that,
I think that what will happen is there will come a day where you will meet someone and it will all just make sense, and you'll be like, "Remember, I was like that."
Maybe I might be one of them person that I don't think I'll ever get married. As much as it seems nice, if I do have like a wedding, it'll just be a ceremony. I don't think I'll ever get the government involved.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough.
What stupid financial decision
that's
that is. You know what I mean?
That's your tinfoil hat coming into
Nah, but all I'm saying is the richest woman in the world is who?
Oprah Winfrey?
No. Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. And how did she get that? By marrying Jeff Bezos. By marrying and divorcing Jeff Bezos. That's a massive, don't you think? When you actually deep who the richest woman in the world is.
I actually had a conversation with someone before that was like, oh, when I get married, my wife's not getting any of my money. Like, I'm getting her to sign a
prenup.
A prenup.
Well, make sure you get a postnup as well, because then prenups don't stand for shit in this country.
Right. Me and you start going out. We get married. I'm doing this job. You're doing this job. Then we decide that we're going to have more kids. Right? I can't do my job anymore. Okay, Sonny. Hang on. Okay, Sonny, I'm going to like go rear our children now. I'm going to sacrifice my career to rear our children. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I meant to like knit scarves in the evening to pay for those children? Like, what way are we working this here?
But you know what's mad, right? And probably this what answers that though completely is I'm very traditional in the sense of like, it's going to sound bad. I've always been shown that to keep a woman, you keep a woman. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't worry, babe. I got it. You know what I mean?
What have you got?
Go get your nails done. You know what that's? No, that's obviously one specific thing. What I'm saying is,
someone said to me,
to keep
go
a woman,
get your nails done.
No, they're asking. They're asking. I don't think you understand what I'm saying. No, I'm saying, like, so if the woman, she's cooking, she's doing the cleaning, like she's not doing the going working no more. This is what you said. She's coming. She's doing a housewife thing. Yeah. Okay, then that's my woman. I've got them. Do you know what I mean? I've got them. Yeah. Like, so I'm keeping them by keeping them. Do you know what I mean? Making sure that they're upkeep, they're nice. Like, they're not missing out just because they're not working no more. But like, I'm not a type person. So you're thinking, oh, he's protecting his, like, it's not even that. It's like, I've had relationships after relationships and whatever in between where like, no, I can see myself going with this place with someone. And then a week later, I'm blocked on Insta or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it went from,
of course, if you're making the move, you do have to be very sure that this is the person you're going to spend your life with.
And like, the marriage is a bit mad, so like completely chopping the peas. But like, say if a girl moved in with me, whatever the situation was, and we broke up, like, I would never leave a girl homeless. I would like, because that's
of course
my person as a person. I'm a good person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Like, I know I'm a good person.
Yeah.
So, like, that doesn't really, it's not even a sense of like, oh, trying to protect my assets, trying to protect my money. I just think the whole marriage thing in the first place, and this is why I'm anti-establishment, I'm anti-government when it real boils down to the most of my views, yeah. Like, because I just believe it's a complete shit show. I don't think there's no democracy. I genuinely think we're fucked, especially our country, probably worse than many other countries, yeah. But we just have like a bit of a polish over it, do you know what I mean, compared. But why am I going to get the government, Boris? These same people that were telling me to lock down and not see my nan and mum and cousins and over Christmas, why am I going to get the government full stop?
A great time, it did seem like.
But full stop, why am I going to get, like, it should be man and woman, like cavemen. They didn't get married. We were talking about cavemen earlier.
I'm sure
he just kept that. He went, you stay. Me go, boof, boof, bring food back. You feed baby. That was what the caveman chat would have been, and the woman, and the woman would have been protected, and that would have been the service that being with this man she would have got. Like,
but if we're going back to the cave days, then yes, that would have been the role.
This is why I believe from the originals time
we learn
just because we live in a demasculated society right now. Yeah, the original role, that man wouldn't have felt no love from that woman if she weren't feeding, protecting, looking after. Do you know what I mean? Someone else comes to try and steal things, you got to fend them off. Big lion comes, you got to kill, slay that, and that's our food, however far back you go to whatever corner of the world you go back. Like, we don't love conditionally. Like, we are the providers, and we need to provide for someone to love us. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's not, but a woman doesn't need to be the provider to be looked after.
Yeah.
She needs to be the nurturer.
Yes.
In a lot of traditional, historic relationships. And we live in a world now where obviously we don't need that now. Because, you know,
the roles have been replaced.
Because the caveman doesn't need to feed Jane. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like things have changed. So obviously I'm a big advocate. Like, I'm a big fan of female boxing. Probably up there. Like, and have been for a long time.
Can we just briefly, because we're wrapping up here, our word situation is done. But I did see on your Twitter today, I think, that you put up something about like your top 5 greatest British fighters of all time or something like that. And then you put Taylor number 1. And your replies on Twitter was like, Katie Taylor isn't British. Yeah. And then someone else said, so there was a tweet that said, actually, she's from Bray in Wicklow, which means that yes, she is British because she's from this part of Ireland.
So that's all lost on me.
Again, I was like, because
she's Irish though, right? She's not British, is she?
Not in any form.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
We have very little amounts in our country. She is the only thing we have that we are holding on to. So she is not British. She never was British. She never will be British.
You've got about 7% of me now.
Well, listen, that'll do. But Bray and Wicklow is in Ireland, which is the Republic. It's not Northern Ireland. So she is 100%. And also people, since I've moved here, think that because I'm Irish, that I'm from the UK. Yeah, but you're kind of part of the UK though.
But you know what I think? I think not the biggest issue is, because of England's history, it's hard to be proud of being English or British because our flag for the rest of the world denominates the invaders are coming. You know what I mean?
Yes,
pretty much.
But also, I don't think that you can hang on to any past life
but that's all we
traumas.
Have. But you got to remember, like, the way that people work.
You, Sonny Edwards, as an individual, are not responsible for the plight of you know. You definitely have to be aware of it and acknowledge it. I don't
live inside the privilege of it, like. So me, on the conversation with me and Thomas Asomba, like Cameroon was a French colonized country. Like, again, like, why was African countries even getting colonized? But like, how was that allowed to be a thing? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But like, so the difference is just because I won the lottery of being being from a country that spent the last however many hundreds of years pillaging, raiding, robbing, stealing, murdering, killing. All around the world. Yeah. But now, because of all of those things, that when I have a few fights as all the home corner and then get a few TV slots and then get a world title shot. Now I'm on life changing money and complete different like. But really, what it boils down to is that I was situated in the right place because of the history.
Yeah.
Because if, let's just say, in the parallel universe, when Mansa Musa was the most richest man that's ever existed on this face of the earth ever, 700 years ago,
Yeah.
the king of Mali and the whole region.
Was he not Egyptian?
He was the king
Oh,
of
it
Mali.
was the African,
No,
right?
Mansa Musa, yeah.
That's
He was a Muslim
sorry.
king.
Yeah.
And he held like a big land. Every week he put a mosque somewhere and
Mhm.
he was constantly building cities of excellence. The first university was built by this man, yeah. Which begs the question as how money moved from Africa to everywhere else in the first place, but that's a whole nother conversation. But let's just say in that world, Africa became the superpower
Mhm.
and we were just a little shitty fucking country. Well, I'm talking about we as in me, as in Britain.
Yeah.
Up there with no resources, couldn't really do anything. We should be the poor ones,
Mhm.
not the biggest continent with all the resources but what happened was, in my eyes, is the people from these places needed to, in order to survive and even to thrive, more to thrive than to survive.
Yeah.
But in order to thrive, they had to start expanding out. Like
Mhm.
Mansa Musa became the richest man, like I said, that's ever lived, and still to this day wouldn't have existed. Something trillions, yeah.
Mhm.
And he chose to. He was a Muslim. He chose to do like Hajj and give out all gold to all the people on the way. And like he weren't like, don't get me wrong, slaves existed them times and which is most people's defense. But what I'm saying is he didn't choose to go to Europe, plant his flag in there like, yo, you lot are dead if you don't follow our religions, and like they didn't do that.
Yeah.
But the British did. Like Desmond Tutu, who died last week, 2 weeks ago,
Mhm.
God rest his soul, South African legend. He what did he say? He said, when the British came, we had the land and they had the Bible. So they said, let us pray. And when we opened our eyes, they had our land and we had their Bible.
Mhm.
Like, so I might not be able to take responsibility, but I need to understand the privilege of the position I am in.
Yeah.
And it might be my skin color. It might be the
Mhm.
country I was born. It might be my upbringing.
Mhm.
But you got to put, like, it's offensive to those that know the world from a different perspective
Mhm.
than say you and I would. You know what I mean?
On behalf of the Irish people, I thank you for acknowledging our plight.
Yeah, no, but I like the Irish people.
Yeah.
The Irish people were the same.
People think that
level.
because Irish, we come with such a friendly background. It's like St. Patrick's Day and everything. We're extremely repressed as a nation. Extremely.
So the black people I know called all
Mhm.
like the white people, like the white black people, like they.
Yeah.
What was it? It was no blacks, no Irish, no dogs. That
No
was
blacks,
the,
no
that's
blacks,
the
no dogs,
famous.
no Irish.
That's the
Yeah.
famous thing. So you lot were seen.
And Irish was last on the list. No blacks, no dogs, no Irish. You know, we were under the dogs.
Okay. But yeah, so like you like your infrastructure of your parents, their ideologies,
Mhm.
how they thought the world, how they saw the world, how they acted within the world, will somehow, some which way, have some sort of influence on the Lydia that stands here today.
Yes.
Just like their parents before them would have had theirs, their parents before them would have had theirs. So yes, I might not be able to sit here
Mhm.
and feel like guilt about everything that's happened around the world, because it's never anything that I've ever done. Like, I would like to think that I'm a very accepting, I'm a very liberal person. I feel like everyone deserves a say, before I think whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's just the way it is. If we want to be free, if we want to be in some sort of unity, you don't have to agree with everyone. Like, we can have a conversation now, we're completely on the other side of the spectrum.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Like,
Mhm.
because sometimes people don't want their mind changed. So you don't need to keep trying to change their mind.
Mhm.
But it's offensive to completely disregard that, even though all the head start steps started hundreds of years ago, to pretend that they don't exist. I just think it's offensive to those people that might not, like, people will say, oh, well, I don't know, you're black in Britain in 2021, or you're not gonna, no, racism doesn't exist like it used to, you know? But like, it's just got a lot more subtle.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It just, like, the things that you see and are reminded of, and the top highest earners and the most marketable people and the most looked after people, and all top to bottom, like,
Mhm.
systematically things need to change before, like you said before, I could give advice on how to have a perfect career for Thomas Somba, because it would have been, get your parents to move to France or the UK as soon as you can and have you there.
Yeah.
Like, if you want the best opportunity, and well, that's horrible.
Of course it is.
And it's horrible that's the world we live in. But like I said, they're not. And the thing is, the only reason Africa's a continent is a third world continent. Even though 700 years ago it owned all the resources and all the wealth and natural whatever and all the money even. It's because it's been pillaged because of people with a different mentality than the people that, for me, were the original inhabitants of the earth. It weren't white people, in my opinion. That again, whole other story for a whole other day.
That was another podcast.
Yeah, but like.
But it's interesting, and it's good to have these conversations.
Yeah,
you know,
I feel like.
And be educated, because I know that even from my own history, Irish history, I don't know. There's a lot that I do know, but there's a whole lot of that I don't know. But all from an Irish person that has been
and people forget
welcomed in the UK.
Was
you know, I'm here 6 months. I've been welcomed in the UK. You know, I can't imagine 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago if I hadn't done this journey, and then to like go to a pub or a hotel or a supermarket and see a sign on the door saying no blacks, no dogs, no Irish.
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
It's like I shudder to think of like what that experience must have been like for, you know, the people who came before me. But
even till this day, I think it still like kind of lives a little bit. Like when I boxed.
Well, I mean, there is casual Irish, you know, racism in terms of like the Irish person. I mean, everyone in this office loves to call me potato because it's like funny. Oh, potato, you know, like it's a thing. But like, you know, even stuff like I've had people say like, "Oh, are you a traveller?"
Yeah, that.
Because would you mean because I travel from Ireland to the UK? No, are you a traveller? Like because all Irish people are travellers. Which there's absolutely, you know, if there's no, I'm not saying it in the thing of like, oh, I'm offended that you think I'm a traveller. Not at all. But it's just so there is like a lot of like uneducation in terms of like the Irish culture in the UK.
And
do you know what I mean? And
yeah,
also
and
like
it shouldn't be really, seeing as how close we are.
No, not at all. Not at all. There should be a lot.
You can
more.
understand why, I don't know, certain people from certain parts of, I say England, let's say, their only experience with Africa is when the donate to comes on. They never looked to be there. They never gone to research it. They probably haven't even met many people that were ever born there, even ever been there. So of course it makes sense as to why. Yeah. But that's why I think that the world needs to be a lot more unified and together and have conversations and be more open-minded rather than just watching the TV, hating the people that they're steering you to hate. Yeah. Because it's all systematic. Like people don't grow up racist.
On the concept, it's completely going from one end of the thing to the next, right? But what's Tommy Fury's girlfriend's name?
Molly May.
Yeah, she's been currently dragged through the like dregs of the internet at the moment because of a comment that she made in a podcast. I think it was a year ago that she done it, right?
Was it that long ago? It's just come out now.
But this is my point.
Man.
It's been out months, and everyone only chose to get offended by it when it was re-highlighted. So it was cut in a clip, someone posted on Twitter, and then when someone said you should be offended by this, everyone got offended by it.
Because she said about everyone's got the same 24 hours, isn't it?
She said everyone's got the same 24 hours, and that is off the back of a meme. Is it meme or whatever that is? In that the conversation is, or the meme was, you have the same amount of hours in the day as Beyonce.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So she's probably using that in terms of like, okay, so I'm using it in terms of like, you know, we all have the same amount of time in the day, and what you do with your time is your choice. And I watched the clip so many times, and I totally...
Have you watched the full thing or just a clip?
I watched the full interview. And I watched the clip, and I watched the argument of her getting the creative director role, a Pretty Little Thing, on the back of Love Island, when she doesn't have a creative director role. She's not in fashion, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, that's an argument to be had, right? Then there's also the argument of she is fronting a brand, getting paid like £500,000, £1 million per month to be the creative director, when there's factories all over the world that are making clothes for Pretty Little Thing, where they're allegedly their staff are on minimum wage or underpaid.
That's when it's stuff like that, it's always abiding by the country's
exactly
law.
I also saw Maya Jama before be dragged for something like this. She done an advertising thing for maybe Boohoo or some brand that
fast food fashion. Yeah,
like it's like that fast fashion thing, and it's like, okay, so like where is the line? You know what I mean? Like where is the line that we need our celebrities to draw on? Like should Molly May or Maya Jama turn down these opportunities with fast fashion chains because it will make you happy that they've done that, or because it's the right thing. Like, there's just, it's a conversation that needs to happen. But ultimately, dragging a young girl who's like in her 21, 22, 23, if the internet was around as it is now when I was that age, I probably wouldn't be doing this, because I have learned and I've grown and I've changed my opinion on things so much over the years that is what living is about. That is what life experience is about. You learn, you grow, and you change your opinion on things. And your opinion of something is as it is, as you are. So your opinion on something now may change in 5 years' time. The more experience that you get on it, or the more understanding or life experience that you have. But this whole thing of like, you know, where to be compassionate and kind and understanding, and
it's cancel culture.
Cancel culture. It's
cancel
like
culture. And I bear in mind, I despise cancel culture.
It is so like.
The problem is
the thing about cancel culture is it contradicts the argument that these people are having in the first place. You know, it's like you're being cancelled over having an opinion on something, where the other side of the argument is that everyone should have the right to an opinion or to have an equal playing field and blah, blah. And it's like, yes, they should. But then you don't get to cancel someone. And it's like that age-old tradition that, you know, young people today think they're being so woke with it, is that the cancel culture has existed for a very long time, but in a minute way. That like the culture of media is that you build something up, it gets to a certain point, and then you tear it down.
Do you know what I think the biggest drive for the cancel culture is because there's a lot of hate in this world. For whatever reason, people are jealous, people are bitter, and rightfully so. When you see a young, to many people, beautiful, young 21, 22-year-old millionaire getting all these contracts, all... Bear in mind, the first argument I'll have about the work she put in, she became an influencer off her own back. Not everyone can do that. Everyone and their dog's trying to. Do you know what I mean? So that's one thing I'll give for her credit. Bear in mind, I'm not even a Molly May... Even when she was on the show, I didn't like her. Let's put it that way. Yeah, like I'm not even like a fan thing. But as a woman, one, she didn't actually say anything wrong. Like, we've all got the same 24 hours. Yes, Beyonce's probably looks much nicer than mine. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But we all have the same amount of hours in the day. Like,
it's how you take the comments.
But what I think is
in context,
in this
or out
world,
of context.
What I've sort of realized is, there'll be so many people that are holding energy where they don't like this person, don't like this girl, they don't like. So they just wait for anything to gaslight. Like the same happened with like O'Hara Davies when he mentioned the sun. He didn't really know what he was mentioning. He just knew that Tommy Cole didn't know the sun. Do you know what I mean? And then he made a comment. All of a sudden, because he said, I want to go do an interview with the Sun, he got dropped by Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Promotions. He got dropped by Sky. And I would understand why Sky would drop him. But what I didn't understand was all the fighters gaslighting him, because there was a lot of fighters that was giving him stick about it. But a lot of these fighters was taking a paycheck from the same corporation that owns the Sun, that owns the Sky. Rupert Murdoch owned them all. And even if names have been changed in the last however many years, like, that's the funniest thing. Like, yes, he might have said something brassic, but like, oh my God, people say fucking wrong things all the time. Like, it's only when people try to make a really big deal and keep dragging it up, it's like, but what they're trying to do is trying to attack the person, not the point. Because very rarely is it just the isolated point that makes the whole uproar. It's the person. Because when, I don't know, someone does some comment, I don't know, I could put out everyone's got the same 24 hours. I wouldn't have the outrage that Molly had. She's got a lot more people in a much wider audience that not only like her but dislike her as well, because she's known. So obviously, when you say she's getting dragged, this, that, and the other, like, until she starts actually, like, I don't know, getting dropped from labels before her pockets get affected, or I don't know, Tommy going, do you know what? I can't be with Molly no more because she said that we will have the same 24 hours as Beyonce. Like, until something like that happens,
she didn't
there's just a lot of hot air.
She didn't say the Beyonce bit, but I'm saying that is, it's the context of it is from this meme that was around with Beyonce. I don't know whether she actually meant that or not, but she basically...
No, she did say the Beyonce thing.
She said we do have the same 24 hours in the day. The point that she was trying to get across is where the cancel culture has come in that she's saying that, you know, like, just you know, the whole thing is like, oh, just don't be poor. You know, if you're poor, just choose not to be poor. But it's
Yeah, but that's
acknowledging, she's acknowledging that people have a different starting point, but that your day is yours.
yeah, but don't be mad at Molly May. Like, be mad at like the fact that society has created a space for someone like Molly May to do all of these things. Like, society has driven it that way.
Which is
like,
the point.
and that's us.
That's
Us.
that's
We are
the point.
idolized. Like, if we were all watch and consume 6 to 8 weeks,
Yeah.
and sat there like zombies and
This is
making
it.
I'm tweeting about we are creating the beast.
Exactly.
And now and then
So
we're angry at it.
out of the hundred, the how many people are cancelling and spewing rage at this girl on Twitter or wherever they're doing it. How many of them are tuning in to watch the next episode or the next season of Love Island?
Yeah. Or checking out, because like I've said before, supporters, they'll support you when it's time to support you, if it fits in their schedule. You see haters, they'll hate you all year round. Every day they'll make sure they see what you're doing. They'll make sure they keep, because they're just waiting for the fail. So there'll probably be loads of people that just really despise her for whatever reason. Bear in mind, it doesn't have to be logical or rational. She could have just, like, my biggest gripe with her is the way she fixes her mouth between the way she speaks. Like,
you always say this. I hate girls who fix their pout in between conversations.
so that's my main gripe, but I don't dislike her. Like, her and Tommy was in my changing room. He was fighting on the same card that I fought Marcel Braithwaite.
Yeah.
And, like, apart from her kicking up a little bit of a fuss because of she couldn't get good lighting. Like, for a
Don't say
picture.
that on this podcast.
No, I'm not terrorizing her. But apart from that, like, she seemed lovely. She seemed cool. Like, there was no, like, I just thought that was a bit funny. Like,
When you asked her for an autograph, how did she respond?
oh no, I didn't ask her for no
Yeah,
autograph.
you did.
You know what I mean? And what I'm saying is, not what me asking for a picture. She was taking a picture in the changing room, and it was funny because obviously there's fighters like warming up here, and she's going, oh, just can't get any good lighting in it. You know, I just find it hilarious. Like,
That's probably not the.
but I understand.
Yeah.
Like, that, like me coming out of a ring.
But that's
not
just
been able to
probably
land my
her
jab
not fully
for-
understanding the.
Oh no,
environment.
no! I wasn't even saying that she had to. I just thought it was funny that, like, I just thought won a British title, and in the ping of my ear, I hear someone kicking off over the change room light and being mad. It was just funny to me.
That is
Not like I wasn't sitting there going, "Oh my god, I can't believe she just said that." Like, I just found it funny. You know what I mean? Like, but around the hotel, around fight week, she was cool. Tommy's a good guy. And I don't think a good guy would be with a girl that isn't deep down a good girl.
A good girl.
So,
Absolutely.
like, when camera comes on and people put their smile on and their presenter voice and presenter act on, like, but the worst thing is for a lot of these people, this is what I was gonna tweet something about this, and I was gonna say, one, she didn't really say anything wrong, and two, like, the work and the sacrifice that she has to make, like, do you know how battering being an influencer is to someone's mental health and their image and their identity?
Yes.
Like, it is baffling. I've seen it firsthand. Do you know what I mean? From people that get up in the limelight and can't really handle it. Like, it's fucking hard. Do you know what I mean? Like, probably why I've never been in a rush to the light. But, like, so yeah, she might not get fucking crevices on her hands. She might, like, when she goes to work, she might not, I don't know, go up on a 20-story high skyscraper to clean a window. Like, but society has
Given her
some sort of
an
infrastructure
opportunity
where she's
to
killing
create
it.
the person that she is and the brand that she has.
And in this world where all we celebrate is money and material things, like, I don't know, why is she getting such a, like, I don't know, a boxer can be like, I make more money than you, look at no. Or, like, these can be the arguments, and no one's ever really gonna bat her an eyelid. But when she's not even saying that, she's just saying, oh, like, you know, if you work hard, which is right. Like, all she's saying is use your 24 hours. Because,
use them wisely.
well, wasn't it 50 Cent that said he'd been like 2-3 days recording straight and had forgot they hadn't slept or eaten or something?
Yeah.
Because he was just in the mindset, getting money. He knew this is how he was making money now. He didn't care about anything else. Beyonce said the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, but if you're waking up at 8 o'clock, staying in bed till 11 on your phone, getting up, going down the shop, coming back, watching Netflix in your boxes, having a bath, going to see your friends and going on a night out for the rest of your 24 hours, and you're wondering why you're sitting there with such negative energy towards a Molly May who's probably been to 3 countries already in this year. Do you know what I mean? Like,
so
doing
that
this,
was
that,
her.
and that.
That was her. I believe my perception of what she was trying to say was we all have the same 24 hours, and we all have the ability to choose what we do with that time.
But the world,
We all get to choose what we do with our time in
But
some capacity. I know that, you know, it's one of those conversations where you can take it literally, or you can use it in one of those lighter concepts of like it's more of a philosophical way of looking at the world. And that's how I heard it, and that's how but that's how I see the world.
But even when someone says something, that's still just a snapshot, like,
Exactly.
of their whole, like,
Yeah.
they might have not even worded it the best way. Like, they might have thought, I don't know, I think, but like I said, I don't think she really said anything wrong. Like, don't get me wrong, like, this world is fucked, and it's not because of the clock, and we all have the same 24 hours. Like, she actually didn't say anything. Like, she didn't actually.
I love how we actually are 360. We're finishing on Molly May.
Yeah, but
anyway, we're sending our love to Molly May.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. But at the same time, if you decide to be an influencer, go on Love Island, and you don't have the spatial awareness of what you're getting into, to understand what comes with being this level of famous, with what comes with, if I'm, you know, selling products all the time, like pushing stuff that I don't always believe in, or like, if that's the route that you take, and you're taking millions and millions of pounds off pretty little thing to barely or maybe loads of have input in or whatever, like, that's what you're getting paid for.
Exactly.
That's the payback. There's nothing free in this world.
Nothing.
So don't think,
free.
oh yeah, that's the payback.
Yeah.
Like, my payback, for me to box, is I have to make weight. I have to make sure that I do all the rules. I need to make sure that I don't fail drugs tests. I need to make sure that I do this. I need to make sure I do that. Then after all of that, and trained hard to get there, then I've got to jump in and have a fight with someone, in which I might lose. And if I lose, everyone will be pointing at me, laughing at me. But if I win, everyone will think I'm the best thing since sliced bread.
So it's high risk, high reward.
High reward. But that's why I up the stakes all the time. That's why I want the biggest fights all the time. Probably because I don't care. Like, maybe in a mad, warped way. Because I think I probably did used to care when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like, more about people's opinions on me. And I think that's what changed me when growing up as a kid. So in some roundabout way, I probably do care. But that's probably why I attract all the negative. Like, this year already, 2 weeks in, I've had like 4 or 5 people message me like, oh, do you know what? I don't ever understand why you always reply to all the negative, but all the positive you always ignore. And it's right, to be honest. And it is right. And I'm trying to change that a little bit. But
well, maybe this year we'll do things a little bit different.
You know what I mean? But you just need to understand the space you're getting into. And like Molly, but the thing is, Molly probably already does at this point. That was the best bit of promotional thing she could have ever hoped of. Because not only do you have, but you look at just the negative. Yeah. But if you actually go into the negative, every negative comment, click on it, there will be multiple positive comments defending, standing up by maybe not defending what you said, but just like, that's why, like, you might think, oh, she's getting dragged. Is she though? By some people. Some people. By some people.
It keeps coming up on my Twitter feed, and I just feel so like.
But you know, in this world, no publicity is bad publicity.
Yeah, I know, but she just seems like such a sweet little girl, and she didn't mean what she meant. I know. I just like to defend everybody.
We have all got the same 24 hours though. That's facts. So Sonny can co-sign that. Like, I'm living in the same 24 hours as Beyonce.
Can't wait for this to go viral.
I'd probably rather live in her 24 hours though.
I won't mind that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but then again, you know them elites. I don't really fuck with them elites.
Right. High five. We're ending the podcast there. We were meant to do a brief one. Bloody hell. Anytime you're coming back in again, I'm going to be like, right, take the evening off. That was episode 11 of the First Exchange podcast with World Flyweight Boxing Champion, Sonny Edwards.